there, my name is Lizzy, and today I'll be giving you a quick demo of Verify Identity Protection. This is an exciting tool for IAM practitioners because for the first time ever, the identity team gets full identity observability across their entire IT infrastructure. Our identity teams are able to get true visibility because we're not only looking at the identity activity from your ID pre's, on-premise ADs, or LDAPs, and any identity tools you may have. We actually take all that information and map it and correlate it against network traffic in order to validate the posture of your existing tools, as well as discover shadow activity across your environment and outside of your IDPs. Now, we provide this level of visibility and posture management for both human users, such as employees, contractors, staff, anyone with access to the network, as well as non-human users, such as services, script, or keys. Now, I'm going to demo one use case from each of these core pillars you see here. I'll begin with a view of our posture page, where we'll uncover some blind spots related to forgotten non-human identities. Then we'll move on to detecting unauthorized activity, such as a human user and using their human credentials for scripting. And then we'll end with a use case regarding misconfigured MFA and the lack of MFA. So with that, let's dive in. All right, so here we are at the Identity Security Posture Management page. We get a view for all of the identities in our environment, as well as any associated issues that they have. And you can see here, we're not only detecting human users, but we're also detecting non-human users and those that operate within the shadow IT landscape. Alrighty, so now let's take a deeper look into non-human identities. So I'm going to go into our advanced search capability and filter for identity source type equal to non-human identities. When I click apply, I'm going to see the same dashboard, but now filtered for only non-human identities. We still get to see the issues associated with these identities, whether it's access to a public VPN or access to unauthorized countries or suspicious outbound access. Let's take a look specifically at this unknown service account on AWS OpenVPN. So we can see that it has a variety of different identity issues, as well as, kind of inconsistent activity. So it looks like there was a lot of activity in January with a few spikes in February and March. We can also see everything that this service has accessed. So this, for example, has accessed 123 different items, and you can see that it's accessing a variety of different, service-to-service communication, as well as cloud service, both known and unknown. When we look at this activity, we can also click into specific incidents associated with this activity. So for example, when we look at this specific incident, we can see that this service was actually accessing a resource in Russia, which was not authorized. And so we could take a look at this specific detail that's pulled from the IDP data and the network data, and actually be able to determine if this is an authorized service or something that we need to shut down completely. We've also got recommended remediations of the next step that you should take. Alrighty, so the next use case I'd like to talk to you about is the misuse of non-human credentials. So I'm going to go into my advanced search again, and instead of filtering for NHIs, I'm going to filter for human users. And we specifically want to look at users who are embedding their credentials into service accounts or applications. And so we're going to fill this field with number of accesses as a service. So this is looking at any time we see an access that's displaying the characteristics of a service account. And when we apply that to human users and we see more than one access as a service, we're going to know that that user is misusing their credentials. Let's look at our top user, Parag. So he is being displayed as a potentially compromised user. He's also showing issues in terms of accessing anonymous IPs, accessing public VPN, accessing to unauthorized countries, as well as a suspected token sharing incident. We specifically want to look at the number of assets he accessed, and we are going to filter for when he was acting as a service. So you can see here, let's look at one of the higher risk items. So Parag was accessing a production level app with a unresolved or shadow service. And we can see the flow activity. It looks like it's been running pretty consistently for the past few months. And the specific issue associated with this access is that we see suspected token sharing. So what exactly is token sharing in this scenario? I'm actually going to introduce you to the idea of a playbook in order to explain that. So a playbook is where we define logic in terms of what we need to alert on and alert the administrators of this tool to. And so for suspected token sharing, we want to detect that whenever an access token was shared within its activity time. So for example, the token timeout period is 1 hour in this case within our organization, and we want to understand every time that token is used in one or more location and create an alert on that. And so that gives us good visibility into potential misuse of NHIs from a human user perspective, as well as potential token sharing incidents, which is, generally not a best practice and a security risk. However, beyond just non-human identities, we support a wide variety of playbooks that you can easily, spin up and customize to alert on the issues that are most pertinent to you and your organization. One specific playbook that I see pretty much every customer I work with utilizing is the lack of MFA playbook. So the lack of MFA playbook is focused on detecting in areas where we expected MFA to be performed, and we may actually see the IDP registering that MFA was performed, but with the network activity, we can see that MFA was never performed, but the user had access to the asset, and that may have been due to, SSO token expirations or faulty conditional access policies. And so I'm going to take you through just how simple it is to build an lack of MFA playbook where you're checking that MFA is being performed when your contractors are accessing any application within your environment. So we can see that the MFA servers, so we can just quickly and easily define these parameters. So in this example, we're only going to want to check Azure AD. The session will be valid for just 1 hour. We expect MFA to occur within that time. This is only going to apply, and we only want this to alert on our contractor group. And this is, of course, imported from the IDP. And then we can even define, are there a specific set of applications that we want to monitor? In this case, we're just going to monitor anytime any contractor accesses any application. And now we've created a successful playbook that will alert when all of those specifications are met. One screen that I haven't showed you yet in this demo is our main dashboard. So this is where the administrators of the tool get visibility into all of the different potential alerts within the environment. And it's highly customizable, so you can choose which use cases you want to view or which ones you'd like to hide. Thank you so much for your time today. This was just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the capabilities that Verify Identity Protection solve for. So I hope to speak to you soon and go into a little more detail. Thank you so much and have a great day.